It's been about a year since Hades 2 hit Steam's virtual store shelves in early access, and in that time, great links have been made to improve the overall experience. From more boons to some light reworks to certain mechanics, Hades 2 has solidified itself as not only a worthy sequel to the beloved original, but in many ways, it's shaping up to be even better than the original. If you're unfamiliar with the concept of Hades, here's the rundown. It's a roguelike, meaning you'll start a run and try to make it to the end, clearing room after room until you hopefully make it to the end and fight the big baddie. In the original Hades, the big baddie was, well, Hades. In Hades 2, the big baddie is Kronos. Since this all takes place with a Greek godly backdrop, the power-ups you'll collect during a run will all come from various mythological gods, with their bonuses having themes based around whatever that god is about. In truth, Hades is the best roguelike out there. It's in a league above the rest, and it's not even close. So does its sequel recapture that lightning in the bottle? How could it?
Oh. Back already.
Well, it does, actually. Across the board, Hades 2 not only adds new features, but refines old ones, giving you more means of progression and customization than ever before. But before we even talk about the new stuff, we need to talk about the groundwork. The movement, the combat, the artwork, the soundtrack. The quality of the moment-to-moment gameplay is back, and it's just as addictive, but even the baseline mechanics got a facelift in the sequel. You're no longer playing as Zagreus, instead playing as his long-lost sister, Melanoe, which, for starters, is just fun to say. Go on, try it. Melanoe. I told you it's fun. Long story short, she's loosely a witch, meaning her combat style leans a bit more on the occult. In terms of gameplay, this doesn't really change the moveset, but it does add some welcome features. Instead of the cast being a simple bullet you fire, it's now a ritual circle. Additionally, your attack, special, and cast can all be charged for stronger versions, which cost magic to use. This basically means right off the bat, without any permanent upgrades purchased, you have about twice the amount of moves as the original game. But because these new moves are tied to your basic abilities, they fit right in, without having to relearn how to play the game. If you've played the first, you'll feel right at home with Hades 2. Pair this with the still phenomenal combat flow and you'll wonder why you even play anything else. Seriously, the feel of Hades and subsequently its sequel is unmatched. The controls are tight, easy to learn, and responsive, and it makes for a game that's easy to pick up but hard to put down. Speaking of put down, you will be like the family dog, but not the three-headed dog, though he is present here. Aren't you, Cerberus? Who's a good boy? Yes, you are. You're a good boy. Ah! Down, boy! Down! That is to say, you'll die a lot in Hades. Thankfully, that's kind of the point. It's a tough game, but those meta progression upgrades are there to give you the edge you need to make it farther and farther. This time around, meta progress follows a similar suit as the first game, although there are some key differences that make the game harder and easier at the same time. The tarot cards are permanent in the sense that you don't lose them when you perish, but at the same time, you can only have a certain amount of them active at once. This allows you to choose an array of tarot cards that fit your playstyle and encourages trying out different combinations to see what you like. They're all strong, but you may not find use out of all of them. But that's just scratching the surface, as there are many different forms of progression, each requiring their own resources to unlock. Conveniently, getting the currencies you need is easier than ever, with multiple ways to trade resources as well as currencies being more abundant during runs. This helps take the sting out of a loss since you'll be able to take those resources back to camp with you and, 9 times out of 10, you'll have some bonuses ready to be obtained. It's just far more rewarding to play, which is saying something since the original Hades was quite rewarding as well. Here things are just far more plentiful, both in terms of permanent upgrades and the resources needed to purchase them. Alongside the progression, it's simply rewarding to hear what the characters have to say. You'll get new quips and dialogues just about every time you run across someone, and everyone is written with a fun theme and just a dash of wit that bring them to life. The voice acting is also stupendous, and I'd recognize the Baldur's Gate 3 narrator anywhere.
This is all part of the task. Death to Kronos.
There's just a real sense of detail to everything. Every time you talk to someone, every time you face off against a boss, they always have something new and relevant to say, and I've been surprised by how the cast will react towards your in-game actions. It's not a branching narrative by any means, but every once in a while someone will mention a boon that you have, or a weapon that you're using, and it just gives this capriciousness to everything. I think that's the right word. Dynamicism? Is that a word? I don't like how it sounds. It just makes everything feel very dynamic, is what I'm trying to say. Like when you're fighting the sirens, and their whole thing is that they play these killer tunes while you're fighting them. As you defeat them one by one, the different parts of the music start to fade. So if you take out the drummer first, the drums actually stop playing in the soundtrack as you're fighting them. It's just one of the many examples of the amazing feedback the game will give you. You then slap on that wonderful art style to everything, and you've got this game that is fun to play and fun to watch. It's one where you'll be thinking about your next run long after you shut the game off, which is one of the best feelings you can bring out with the game, a sense of fulfilling excitement. Roguelikes, as a whole, often feel very half-baked. Oftentimes the roguelike formula of dungeon crawl until you die, then start over, can come across as a crutch to give a superficial level of substance where there is none. However, there are certain cases that not only work within the roguelike formula, but thrive, and the Hades games are the perfect example of this. It's not just a good game that happens to be a roguelike, its very identity is a roguelike. The gameplay, the progression, even the story are all carefully designed to fit this genre. It's a game that knows what it wants to be and it knows how to pull it off. Because of this, these two games are highly enthralling, or rather, with the occult themes of the sequel, highly bewitching. If you've never played the Hades games, you must. They are truly innovative games, and they deserve all the praise they get. They are among the indie greats, and honestly, they might be the indie greats. The first Hades was incredibly captivating with its gameplay and narrative, and the second game is shaping up to be even bigger and better. I have been really trying to not play too much of Hades 2, since I really want to dig into the game once it's fully complete. As it stands though, the only real sign that the game is in early access is the sign on the store page saying it's in early access. This could easily be sold off as a complete product, and while we are nearing the 1.0 release, we're not quite there yet, and I'm eager to see what else will be added in future updates. This was just a quick look at the state of Hades 2. There's a lot more I want to say about this game, but we're not quite at the full release yet, and I've been trying to wait until the game is complete before I really dive in. We'll be talking more about this amazing title once 1.0 hits, but until then, keep a keen eye on this indie masterpiece. Look at this, I've got a build going where I can throw bouncing machine gun knives everywhere that set everything on fire. I am so unbeatable. I can just sit back and, man, I take it all back. This game sucks.